It is a perpetual hustle. Like, I have never stopped working. And if this is something you want to do, if you want to make movies, in whatever capacity that is, do not stop. Do not let anyone tell you you can't do it, and do not take shit from anybody.
Welcome to House of Horror. Everything and anything horror. Hello, fiends. I know you've missed us, and I've missed you so much too. Back in February, before the world ended, we put together an amazing event to celebrate women in horror. I had the honor of sitting down and talking to Chelsea Stardust, director of Satanic Panic and All That We Destroy, Eryn Krueger MeKash, Emmy Award-winning special effects artist for American Horror Story, Lin Shaye, actress of all the Insidious and producer, and Caroline Williams from Texas Chainsaw 2. Check out what these incredible women had to say. I hope you guys love the panel, and I also hope to see you guys all again very soon. Bye!
Caroline, so how do you feel that social media has empowered you?
Oh my God, I can't believe you even asked that fucking question. It's a marketing tool. You have good experiences, you have bad experiences. I am grateful for it since I do have product coming out this year. I've got 4 films coming out this year, which is more product than I've had in the last 10 or 15 years. I mean, it's kind of a new career for me in the last 3 years. So my productivity has gone up. I like being able to publicize that kind of stuff on my own because a publicist is very expensive.
All right, Chelsea, so tell us your journey in your growth process from being a fan to directing your first 2 features this past year, and don't you dare leave out any gory details.
Oh man, okay. Let me try to sum up, because it's a journey. So I've loved horror since as far as I can remember, which started for me. It started in literature. Night of the Living Dead is sort of the movie that made me really fascinated with horror, and that was the moment I'm like, that's the genre I want to direct. Like, I want to make movies. How that movie made me feel, I wanted to make people feel that. I was working at the Montecito Picture Company, which is Ivan Reitman's company. So old school comedy, Ghostbusters, Stripes. He produced Animal House, and I enjoyed it, but I had an opportunity to be Judd Apatow's assistant. So I left that job to go work for Judd for 2 years. I worked on Bridesmaids, Funny People, Get 'Em to the Greek. So I was in comedy for a long time, for about 4 or 5 years. Not where my heart was at. A friend said, there's this guy who's looking for an assistant. His name's Jason Blum. I was like, who's that? I have no idea who that is. So I looked him up on IMDb. He had 3 credits: The Tooth Fairy, The Reader, and Paranormal Activity. So then I was at Blumhouse for 4 years. So I left right when Whiplash was going to the Oscars. So, I was there for all the major franchises: Insidious, Sinister, more Paranormal Activities, The Purge, Town That Dreaded Sundown, A Normal Heart, which I know you worked on. So tons and tons of projects. There was 30 something if you look on my IMDb, being Jason's exec assistant. And but I told him from the very beginning, I just want to direct. I'm just going to work here until I'm ready to go direct. He said, you should go work for Crypt TV and direct for them. And so I directed 4 short films for them, and I directed 7 short films in all, 4 which were for them. And meanwhile, you can't survive making short films, so I kept assisting directors. Meanwhile, Jason's calling me, will you please come back and be my assistant? Can you come back and be my assistant? I'm like, I will only come back if I can direct for you. Ryan Turek, my friend who works over there, he read All That We Destroy and said, this is the movie we want to make with you. And I directed that at the top of 2018 for Blumhouse. It came out May of last year as the Into the Dark, the Mother's Day Into the Dark. And then 5 months after wrapping production of that, I got Satanic Panic and did that in Texas for Fangoria. That also premiered in May of last year, and then I did we got into 30 film festivals. We're very lucky, and the movie came out, and now I'm working on the next thing, and that's the journey as quickly as I can tell it. So thanks for your patience.
All right, Lynn. So what is it about the horror genre that always draws you back in?
The job. I think fear is fascinating. I mean, there's a lot of, I also love comedy because that's sort of how I live my life. Much more than with horror, I may add, gratefully, to be honest. But I think, I'm always looking for a good story, a good character, a good energy. I'm not as much I'm married to genre as I am to that. I gratefully get asked to do a lot of things that are a lot of horror films. I'm not interested in blood and guts unless it's really got a place in the story. And those are really the elements I look for. I mean, I'm grateful to be included in this world and this community, really.
All right, Eryn. So because the special effects industry is very male dominant, who's been a great ally for you with working in the industry?
There's actually a lot of guys that have been my allies. I started working for the late John Buechler in 1986. And I worked for him, I worked for Rick Baker, Stan Winston, and there's like a lot of Norman Cabrera, Steve Wang, and of course the late Matt Rose, all good friends of mine, and they were all incredibly supportive of a lot of things women were doing. There weren't that many women doing makeup effects at the time, very few, just like a handful of us. There's been a lot more allies than you think. A lot of these guys I'm still friends with today, which is amazing. It's been 33 years and they're all, it's opened up a little bit more now. Obviously, there's a lot more women doing makeup effects, which is so cool. It's like this generation of people coming up, there's just so many more women in schools and working in the business, which is really fantastic, and it's so exciting to see.
All right, so as you guys know in the show House of Horror, hey Jerry, he was just in episode 2. We do a little game of Would You Rather. I got 2. Ready? You ready for this? No. All right. Would you rather have the ability to choose which new horror movies get made every year or have an additional 15 years added to your life?
15 years added to my life.
Yeah.
15 years added to my life.
All right. All right. If you were to live in the real life version of Stephen King's It, would you rather face it as a child or as an adult?
As an adult. Because children carry it with them forever. As an adult, you can shed your skin.
Smart. Who, as a female, inspires all of you guys creatively?
My mom. I honestly mean that.
Yeah. The women sitting up here with me right now. And yes, I would also say my mother, who is an artist and has influenced me so much. So yes, I agree with that.
All right, so I'm going to take a couple questions if anybody has any for my lovely guests. Anybody? Shoot.
What's something you wish you saw more in genre films?
Probably, I'd like to see even more women kicking ass.
Yeah.
You see it a little bit, but I'd like to see more of it, even more of it.
That's great. And then there was one.
All 5 of you, tell us your favorite horror film.
The Shining.
Night of the Living Dead, the OG Night of the Living Dead.
I have a tie is The Thing and American Werewolf in London.
Oh, I love those. The Exorcist is my number 1 because it's extraordinary. And then The Omen after that.
Well, thank you guys. What I obviously wanted from tonight was everybody to feel really connected and supported in this community, and I feel like we did just that tonight. And so thank you guys again for coming, and thank you to my amazing guests. So enjoy the rest of the night. Woo!